Cornyn is, of course, the Republican senator from Texas, and he's on Dylan Ratigan's program on MSNBC. And, oh, he's got some doozies here. Let's go to clip number 6.
As you just pointed out, there were a bunch of sweeteners thrown in for senators who apparently couldn't find their way to vote for this bill based on the merits. So they had to get some sort of payoff. We've heard about the Louisiana Purchase, the Cornhusker kickback, and a whole host of other names. But this is pretty unseemly stuff, and I don't blame the American people for being repulsed by it. I certainly am.
Understood. Senator, I asked Senator Leahy about this from the other side of the aisle just a few moments ago. Here are his comments.
If they had won, if the Republicans had won and been able to kill health care, then they would say whatever it took for them to kill it would be absolutely wonderful. No, this is crocodile tears on their side.
Again, the argument, this is business as usual. It just happens that the Democrats are using it to win. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. And Republicans are not out to kill health care reform. Yeah. We agree there are things that could be done to bring down the price of health care to make it more affordable. But this bill doesn't do that. What this bill does is puts into law a bunch of special interest backroom deals. And you know what? I don't understand the rush to do this during this week when most of the provisions of the bill, other than the taxes, don't go into effect until 2014. Yeah. So this is an effort to jam it through despite the fact the American people have said they don't want it. So you have to wonder, who are folks listening to?
All right, that's so many great things in there. All right, first, he says, well, the Republicans aren't trying to kill it. Who told you we were trying to kill it? Really? What else are you trying to do? Are you kidding me? What kind of joke is that, right? This guy must be a joker because he makes jokes. You're not trying to kill it. First of all, Coburn says you're trying to kill it. Second of all, what else are you doing? I mean, they gave you no public option, no Medicare buy-in, et cetera, all the things you ever wanted, and you still vote no. All of you vote no. It's unbelievable that he would actually say that with a straight face. Then he says, oh, they're trying to rush this thing through. We've been doing this for how long now? How many months? How many years? How many decades? We're trying to rush it through? I mean, how tired is this argument? Come on, come on, come on. You're trying everything you can to delay it and to kill it. Now, on the kickbacks, look, those are terrible. Are they business as usual? Absolutely. Republicans did it when they were in charge. Democrats did it before them and after them. Democrats and Republicans do this all the time. It sucks every time, but it's a normal part of politics. Doesn't mean I'm in favor of it. And then finally, the parts I liked in that clip was Pat Leahy saying, crocodile tears. And I love how Ratigan says, understood. That's his sign for, okay, I'm moving on. Understood. Let me ask you a different question. I don't know. I'm amused by it. All right. So now the second clip is even better. So let's see how John Cornyn is upset about the private insurance wins in this bill. You serious? All right. Let's watch.
Yeah, Senator, the thing that has really struck me over the past few days as I've looked at the details of this legislation and all the no list, not only no public option, but no, again, choice, no, again, access to the exchange for the vast, only 9% of the people in the country would have a look at the exchange, no end to the monopolies, no Medicare buy-in, effectively, other than pre-existing condition, which I think is, again, very sellable and valid thing, there's almost no reform, but there is expanded coverage. I add to that the mandate to participate, which is understandable in a reform market, as we have car insurance works because everybody needs it at some point. We're watching a mandate into an unreformed monopoly that, to your point, is a boon, a windfall. As sure as there's a windfall profit at the banks from the bailout without strings, we are now delivering a windfall profit to monopoly health insurers with a mandate without choice.
That's right. The primary beneficiary under this bill are going to be the insurance companies that are going to receive a tax credit directly payable to them to pay for the subsidies under this bill. You've heard our friends on the other side of the aisle demonize the insurance industry, but this is a $400 billion plus transfer of tax dollars to the insurance companies. This is not reform. This is about basically growing the size of government and its intervention in our lives and getting between us and our doctors when it comes to making choices for our own health care.
Are you kidding me? now you're going to pretend that you're against the insurance companies? The guys that have been fighting tooth and nail to protect the insurance companies all these years, these decades, and specifically this year in this bill. But that's exactly what Republicans do. And that's why I'm afraid the Democrats are walking into that trap. They're going to turn around and go, whoa, we never protected insurance companies. Look at the Democrats at this bill where they give the mandates and they don't give the people choices. We wanted choices. They didn't give it to them. What can we do? Yeah, look, you see that? Democrats in favor of insurance companies. Now, look, the Democrats are in favor of insurance companies. That's why this bill is not very good, right? But for the Republicans to pretend that they're against insurance companies or that they wanted to give you choice is nothing but a joke. But you know what? A lot of people who are not involved in this debate and didn't know the details, they're not going to be let in on that joke. And then the joke's going to be on the Democratic Party when these guys pretend to be the populists.